Welcome to Tier 1 Literacy Block, a From the Start reading project. Tier 1 Literacy in 5 minutes or less. The Tier 1 Literacy Block is 90 minutes of reserved instructional time dedicated to the mastery of foundational reading and writing skills. Research from Foreman and colleagues suggests that Tier 1 instruction will be split between time dedicated to word recognition and a variety of language-building experiences. Explicit instruction synthesizing phonemic awareness, phonics, reading, and foundational writing skills will likely take approximately 40% of time during the literacy block. The remaining 60% of the literacy block provides students broad exposure to language skills such as required for speaking and listening, vocabulary, comprehension, language structure or grammar, and composition, commonly referred to as the writing process. Provided is a sample schedule which reflects the coordination of whole group teacher-led instruction, along with small group instruction. Usually, small group teacher-led instruction occurs while students are occupied with learning centers on a rotation schedule. There are a variety of possibilities for organizing the 90-minute literacy block. What guides instruction in Tier 1 are grade-level expectations for reading and writing as reflected in state standards and high-quality, scientifically based reading instruction as part of a core curriculum. Teachers will rely on these resources for direction, but they do not tell the whole story of how Tier 1 becomes an effective learning environment. The teacher will also be closely monitoring screening data and using formative assessment to create practice opportunities which match the needs of the students in the class. These skill-based learning groups will remain flexible as students gain proficiency. Skill-based instruction is valuable in the way it takes a complex set of skills like reading or writing and breaks it down into clear, attainable goals for young students. The progression of skills shown here, as an example, will be considered in greater detail in this module. The National Reading Panel has recommended that teachers focus on the big ideas of reading: phonemic awareness, phonics, fluency, vocabulary, and comprehension. This chart reflects the increasingly sophisticated ways that a student will learn to utilize the basic components of reading and writing over time. Additionally, writing instruction will serve students well as they work toward fluency and deeper levels of comprehension. Writing will reinforce what students are learning about written forms of communication and give them a chance to replicate the patterns that they have become familiar with in reading. Researcher C.M. Scott describes writing as the final common pathway of cognition and language. It is not only an important skill on its own, but it is an important indicator demonstrating mastery of foundational literacy skills. Progress monitoring is essential to being able to make good instructional decisions for the needs of individual students. A reading screener is a specific kind of assessment which is crafted to anticipate which priority reading skills need to come together for a student to become a successful reader. Priority reading skills for fluency will involve word recognition abilities such as phonemic awareness and phonics. If a student's fluency is at an acceptable rate, other indicators may be required such as vocabulary and comprehension. It is never enough to just test. Results from progress monitoring should be used to match students to the appropriate practice opportunities, which will advance their skill level. Coming up next in the module, you will get the chance to consider what explicit instruction looks like with literacy expert Anita Archer. And you will have the opportunity to review some practical ideas for effective delivery of instruction during Tier 1.